Adam, frustration on Boxing Day, but as you said at the time, when the decision was made, it was the right decision. I don't know if you know it when, by 5 o'clock a lot of that fog had gone. And it was definitely playable, but then again it was starting to come in. It could have been a bit of a farce if it wasn't called off.
No, yeah, and it gets to a certain time and you've got to make a call, and it was the right call at the time for the ref, much to everyone's frustration. Felt really sorry really for the supporters and yourself and everyone like that. They had to take time and effort out of their day to travel over. It's part and parcel of being involved in football. We know these things can happen, but I just feel the frustration for the fans, taking time out of their day and spending their hard-earned money to get over. It's not ideal, but like I say, I think it was the right call. When I got back and watched the Liverpool game that was on that evening, and you'd watch one camera angle, it looked fine, and then you get flipped to another one and you could barely see what was going on. So the ref had a difficult decision to make, and at the time I think it was the right one. Yeah.
You talked about you going back down south as well, actually, to go and see your family. Were you able to have some time off?
Yeah, we kept to the same sort of plan. The lads took their GPS unit home and done a little bit of work wherever they happened to be. And it was nice to get back down south and just to see some family. Managed to get a Premier League game in, went to the Brighton-Brentford game as well, so that was good. Saw friends and family, and now I feel ready to carry back on with the season, really. It was a nice little break, ready to crack on again.
I know it was only a short break, but how important do you actually think having a break is, not just for you but for the players as well at times? Yeah,
definitely. It's a long, difficult season. Mentally as well, it's nice just to be able to switch off, and even the lads having the units that they can do their own stuff, at least they can do it at their own time and can still spend some time with their family. I think that was important. It was always planned to have a few days off. With coming in Christmas Day, it was always the plan then to give the lads a few days off to spend with family, and pleased we got to stick to that.
You went to the Brighton-Brentford game, you clearly didn't see many goals. Do you think you may see some goals on Wednesday?
I think both teams, play sort of similar style. We both like to have the ball, dominate the ball, and create a lot of chances. So, hopefully there will be some more goals. But again, like Brighton played some unbelievable stuff. Just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net on the day, and we've seen it ourselves enough times this season. It can be frustrating when it happens, but they're playing well and creating chances. So something that we want to stick to. I think we're playing well, especially at home, and we want to stick to that and stick to creating chances, and know that we've got 4 players that can put it away.
The goal stats for your side, especially here at home, and for Gateshead in their last few games, are ridiculous off the scale. Are you expecting an open, entertaining, fast, free-flowing football on Wednesday? Yeah,
I think it's all the makings for that. Like I say, 2 similar sort of styles. Both like to dominate the ball, and it's very, very similar. They sort of do it a bit more of a back three and have a box in midfield and try to overload centrally. And we're quite similar to that as well. So, it's a real tactical battle, one that we're certainly look forward to.
Unusually, as you say, that they play a relatively similar style to you. They want to keep hold of the ball. You generally have, 60 up to 70% of possession most games, as do Gateshead. How does that work, do you think, when both teams do want to look after the ball and want to play with it?
I don't know, you say 50-50 each and then see who comes on top. But you don't know, especially here at home, how they might come. They like to press aggressive as well. We like to be on the front foot and press aggressive. So, like I say, a real tactical battle, and just have to stick to our game plan, what we can do well. And like I say, I'm sure they'll be no different. It's served them well. A team that are used to being at the top end of the table. So I'm sure they're not going to change from what they do.
How do you think they do it every year? Because they are up at the top end of the table every year. They keep the same pattern of play, despite who's the manager. They keep losing managers. They lose all their best players, seems to be, on year. but they stay up there every year as well on a very small budget.
No, they do. It's obviously a very well run club off the pitch as well, and they believe in their style, and they're obviously very well coached. They get coached well and recruit well, and that's got the makings of a good combination. So yeah, that's how they do it, and behind the scenes and off the pitch, they must have good people, and it's run very well for them to keep doing that.
Your team then, everyone's still fit and available? No one's come down with anything between Boxing Day and now?
No, only Luca missed a bit of training today, just through illness, so he's the only one at the moment. Like I said, there's a bit of it going through, but hopefully over the worst of it now, and I'm sure Luca will be available to train tomorrow. We just sort of took still feeling a bit lousy, so we didn't take any risks with him for today's training, but I'm sure he'll be available for the game and be back training tomorrow.
And the three guys we keep talking about, Cam, John, Darra, Adam, has that break helped them get back closer to full fitness?
Yeah, Cam, John and Darra. So Cam, John will be sort of available for the squad. Darra probably is ready for minutes. They're both ready for minutes, probably not ready to start games of football yet. So yeah, maybe looking at Cam, John getting his start at the weekend might come a bit too soon, Wednesday. But both available to be in the squad, but not quite ready to start.
Let's talk about then, once everyone does get fit, I know anyone could just be a couple of seconds or a bad tackle or sort of a bit of a misfortune away from another injury. Are you going to have to think about sending some of these other players out who aren't getting game time? I know Mofadera was supposed to go to Farsley. That hasn't happened, I'm told. Is that correct? Yeah,
no. It's all agreed with Farsley, but I think there was something sort of with the registration. Their end didn't sort of materialise, so yeah, disappointed for Mo, because I think he needs to get out and play now. He's progressed so well in training. Now he needs to get back to playing regular and learning from mistakes. I think that's how he'll improve now, and yeah, something to look at. Obviously, I think we'll get the Wednesday, Saturday out of the way because it's quite close turnaround, so we'll get that out of the way, and then as of next week, sit down and see where we are with the squad and see what's best for everybody. Potentially that could mean one or two loans and going to get minutes. If we can't give those players that have been out for a bit of time the football they need, then we might have to look at seeing how we can get that elsewhere.
So I presume someone like Billy Chadwick will come back into that conversation now that he's back from his loan at Boston. Yeah,
Bill's been superb since he's come back into training with the group, and I think that month away really done him well. Obviously starting the first couple of games, so yeah, he's definitely got a spring in his step since he's come back and training really well, really positive, and great lads and a great player. So yeah, one that's got to be patient and wait for his opportunity, but there will be opportunity over these two games for the squad to be used, and it's down to players to take it.
You've talked about in the past how much you enjoy playing here, raucous crowd, big crowds. It looks as though it's going to be even bigger on Wednesday, and I know they haven't announced it yet, but I don't know if they're going to open the North Stand. Everywhere else has sold out, so they may well open the North Stand. You might get your wish of having York City supporters behind both goals. Yeah,
hopefully. I think when we do that, it does make a big difference to us, and like I say, this is what we want for this club. We want these big crowds, and it's down to us to sort of put on a show and entertain, and I'm sure that anyone that does come, it'll be an entertaining game. Both teams like to play a good style of football, and I'm sure that it'll be a good advert for the National League.
Because there will be, I presume, lots of people who do come on Wednesday who don't ordinarily come to watch York City. This is the chance, isn't it, to try and grab them and for them to become more regular attendees here at the LNER.
Definitely, that's what we've been trying to do, and hopefully one or two that have come previously have enjoyed what they've seen and likely to come back, and if they speak highly of what they've seen and tell a mate and they come along, and that's how you get the sort of tendencies that we're getting, and we want to keep on expanding on that. Heading into the new year, we want it to be the norm to have big crowds, especially here at home.
But when you were at the back end of last season, when City just survived, you can't have imagined that we'd be talking about full houses here at the LNER just, a matter of months later.
No, yeah, obviously we had a couple of times when Chesterfield's come and brought, a lot of fans with them, and when the club put a deal on, I believe, for Woking, there was a really good turnout that day, and so we experienced it, and it was definitely something that we wanted to try all we can to bring to the season, and like I say, by the end of the year to be talking about having the North Stand open because of ticket sales, then that's exactly where we want to be and heading in the right direction. Yeah.
Finally, you're down to second now because of the games that took place the other day, but I'm sure you were looking at the scores and you'd have been relatively happy with the Barnet and Forest Green, neither of those two sides winning on Boxing Day.
Obviously everyone we come away disappointed with the Tamworth draw, but then Forest Green, and very similar thing by all accounts happened to them late on, long throw, and you've got to keep concentrated. So it just shows it's a real tough place to go. So and then Barnet scored 90 plus 10, I believe, something like that. It's what it is. You've got one eye on it, but ultimately we've got to take care of what we can control, and that's our performance and the result on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Adam.
Hiya.
Obviously, a huge frustration to have the Oldham game called off, but is it sort of a welcome opportunity for that extra rest, and do you think that could give you an advantage on Wednesday with Gateshead playing Boxing Day?
Potentially. But sometimes you want to keep playing and get a bit of momentum. It doesn't always happen that way. You'd think in hindsight, having rest and then playing, that we should go into the game fresher, but it doesn't always happen. We've had a bit more time off than together as a group than potentially we would have done. But you never know how that pans out. I mean, in hindsight, you'd say yes, it should be good, but been there enough times that it doesn't always happen that way.
Just on your team news, I remember the last time we talked, you mentioned that Adam Crooks is kind of been delayed. Has he now had that, and what were the results of it?
Yeah, he's had a scan. There's a slight problem just in sort of like groin area, but nothing too major. So he'll be looking to join back in training some part next week.
Also, since last time you managed to confirm the permanent signing of Malachi Fen Walcott. First of all, how much of a coup is that for the club? And a lot of people are sort of speaking about how he's still such a young player for so much talent, and the potential he has within him. Is that sort of matching your ambitions for the future of the football club? Yeah,
definitely. I think that's the kind of player that we want to be attracting. A young talent like Malachi, got so much potential, like I say, and really can move up the football pyramid. And we want the same. I want that as a manager, and the club most certainly want that. So, it seems like a perfect fit, and we're delighted to have him permanently at the club.
How much sort of work went into bringing in such a high-profile player to York? Because obviously it's one that other supporters are absolutely ecstatic about. So, how much work sort of went on behind the scenes to bring him in permanently?
As soon as it was potentially available to happen, then the chairman and Mecca worked hard to get it over the line, and like I say, delighted to have someone of that calibre, and now it's down to us to keep working on him and make sure that he's playing week in, week out, but playing week in, week out at a real top level, and he's finding some consistent performances. He still shows at times he's a young lad, he can be naive and try to win everything when he can't do that all the time, and it's how he'll learn is by playing games of football, and I really believe that we can give him that platform to do that.
Just want to ask about Luca Thomas. Am I correct in thinking that his loan ends on the 2nd of January, and are there conversations in place to extend that loan? Yeah,
there's conversations are happening. Really, really rate Luca. Such a good lad. It's not really worked with playing him and Ollie Pearce together for whatever reason. He's just been so unfortunate that he's got the league's top goal scorer in front of him at the moment, and they're vying for a starting spot. But so much potential. His finishing is unbelievable. Like I say, such a great character. Wants to work hard. Wants to learn. Wants to improve. So, again, another player of that young age that we still see could have real potential.
Just on Gates as well, Carl Magnay, their manager, is he someone you've had any past interactions with?
No, I don't believe so. But they seem to do well, their managers, and then move on, and they get replaced, and the new managers come in, play a similar style, and do really well. So, that recruitment they have for their managers at Gateshead seems to be working for them.
Last thing from me, Gateshead have scored 20 goals in those 4 matches. The average right now 5 goals a game in those last 4. How do you go about sort of making sure there's no issues with the defensive side of things? And obviously you've got such a good record this season with clean sheets.
Yeah, just really not venture too much on what we do. Focus on what we do well, and I don't like to go too much into the opposition, because you never know, they could come and completely change their style. So let's focus on what we can do well. We can create chances ourselves, and we've proven this season that we can clean sheets. And halfway through the season, we want to keep more clean sheets this half than we did last half, and that would be a real positive way to start the new year and the second half of the campaign, by keeping a clean sheet on Wednesday.
Just to ask as well, have you got any New Year's resolutions? Obviously it's been the end of the year, isn't it? So.
No, not really. No, that's put me on the spot, but I don't really sort of get involved in that too much, to be honest. Just keep working hard and be grateful that I'm in such a privileged position and managing such a prestigious club. And if anything, when you go home and you can't wait to come back and take up the mantle again, and it's give you even more passion to work harder and be better.
Brilliant, thank you very much.
Hi Adam.
Hiya.
You worked obviously ready for that Oldham game, and you got ready for that specific game, and must be a huge come down when basically it doesn't happen. Does it affect you and the players basically? Yeah,
you are disappointed. You turn up ready to be part of a big game, but when you get there and the ref's down one half of the pitch and you can't see them throwing the ball up in the air, and we couldn't even locate where there was at one point, so I knew it could have been a bit of a problem, and I think the spectacle as well for the supporters, because I think at one point where they were so far back they couldn't have seen the far goal, so it would have spoiled the spectacle for them. And yeah, I mean, it's part and parcel of being in football. We feel more for the supporters that have made the effort, and to see so many of them on the way in, and then know that their hard work of getting over to Oldham on Boxing Day, the later kick-off, more disappointed for them really.
Talking of the later kick-off, obviously for TV, is that also part and parcel of the game? Maybe it could have been played at 3, but that you just take it as it comes, don't you?
Yeah, that's it, definitely. I think if you worry too much about all that sort of stuff, then you wouldn't get nowhere, to be honest. You'd be constantly worrying and wouldn't get any sleep. So yeah, it's part and parcel of it. I think it's a testament to both clubs doing so well that they want to put that game on TV, and we want to keep on doing well, so there's more chance of us being on the TV moving forward. So it's something that we've got to get used to.
Oldham actually did a training session. I guess the good thing about the technology is it allowed you to send the players home and know they're going to do the same.
Yeah, we wanted to stick to the sort of the plan that we had, because people would have made plans, and it got disrupted through us being in Christmas Day anyway. So I wanted them to have that time with their families, but at the same time they still needed to cover some distance that they would have missed in the Oldham game. So yeah, the beauty of the technology was that they got sent away, and everyone remembered their pods, so we managed to put all that information from their 3 days of work and see where everybody was, and it all come back good. And the beauty of having such a good group of people is that you can trust them to go and be left to their own devices. And I see some of the work that some of the players were doing, and they was actually doing coaching sessions, little individual ones, and I know that you've got a good group of people, and they'll get on and do the work.
Yeah, come now to Gateshead, obviously scoring goals for fun. It's been mentioned 20 in the last 4. I know that you focus on your own game, but you can't ignore the threat of Asani and Newton, can you? You must, and you're not going to tell us how, but you must be looking at them and working out ways, maybe even to stop the supply to them.
Yeah, no, they've obviously got some fantastic players. Like I say, the recruitment's good, not just for players, but the management seems to get it right as well. So, yeah, we obviously pay these players the utmost respect that they deserve because they're very good players. But at the same time, let's try to focus on what we can bring as well, and not just worry entirely on what we're coming up against, but you know, we've got some firepower in our ranks as well, so try to focus on the positives that we can produce, and yeah, definitely respect the opposition and know that they've got some very talented players. That's why they're doing so well.
Busy old schedule as well. I think there's 4 games in the next 2 weeks, so having a big squad available must be a positive thing.
It really is, yeah. Like I say, I think 23, I think we had training today, so yeah, numbers are really good at the moment, and you know, we're going to be needed in this next 2 weeks with a busy schedule. It probably ramps up more in the next 2 weeks than it did over the actual Christmas period, especially with the game off. So yeah, it's great having that amount of talent and to choose from, and you know, makes it difficult. At the same time, you know, all going to be needed, and that was the message really. Even some of the lads that didn't come in sort of Christmas Day and had some time off, that you know, anything can happen. There could be injuries in the new year, and those players could be needed. So everyone's got to be ready at this time of year.
And finally, New Year's Day, obviously, hopefully, maybe even 7,000. A lot of people coming for the first time. A lot of people obviously coming to see, you know, the start of the new year. It's what you get out of bed for football, isn't it?
It is, yeah, definitely. And like I say, this is what we want at this club. So we don't want to be put off by it. We want to embrace it, and you know, hopefully, you know, want to go out and put on a good display so these people enjoy it and want to come back. But yeah, this is what we want for this club. We want 7,000-8,000 every week, and you know, the players to really embrace it and enjoy playing in that kind of atmosphere and in front of that kind of crowd.
And finally, obviously, the Christmas present of Malachi signing as well. It's a two-way thing, though, isn't it? It's good for the club, but it's also good for him as well, isn't it, in helping him progress? Yeah,
I think so. I think he's obviously settled, and he's getting regular minutes, and he's seeing some improvement in his game. So, yeah, obviously delighted as a club to have such a talented prospect under our books. And at the same time, he's, you know, going to be getting some valuable minutes to learn and improve, and that's the thing. Like we're talking about our sort of younger players, Mo Fadira and that needs to go and play, and Malachi's no different, and they'll learn from their mistakes. And you know, he's still 22, central defender who we rely on to build out from the back, so he's going to have lots of touches of the ball, so he's going to make mistakes, but you know, we're prepared to give him the time and work with him to help him, you know, reach his potential.
Excellent, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.